Okay, so now we're going to keep going, and these upcoming sections are something I haven't fully routed. I've been brewing on it, and I think that I have an idea of what I want to do. But if what you see here in the video doesn't match what ends up in the guide, that's why, because I'm figuring it out. And I think this will work, but I have to try it. I have to test it. Alright, so we're going to charge the Ring of Elements. I think I just used the runes on here. Um, sure. That's a lot of charges. Can I uncharge this thing? Hold on. Um, okay, so I looked at it and the wiki says you can uncharge the ring, so I'm just gonna dump all of this in here. And there you go. So let's try it. Let's try the uncharge. Can charge it at a bank. This doesn't count as a bank, I guess. That's fine. And that's actually really convenient because not only does this mean that we can get our runes back, but you can actually just store your teleport runes in here. I didn't even think about that. That's really, really nice. You wouldn't necessarily have to go back to Ali Morrison. You could just store all your teleport runes in the Ring of Elements and go from there. But that's plenty. I don't necessarily need that many charges, but we're going to go with it. Alright, so we're going to put these in here, put that in here. I'm going to keep that. So now the next thing on the agenda is that I'm going to actually, well, first of all, I'm going to go to Lumbridge and sell some of these runes real quick, and then I'm going to knock out 50 mining, kind of an anticlimactic thing, but I'm going to go ahead and just get the 50 mining now. I have the rune pickaxe, it won't take too long, and we want to do that. We can get rid of all these pouches. Hey guys, I'm gonna jump in here and I have some corrections and updates to make to this upcoming section. I'm gonna go down them kind of list by list. First of all, I recommend you actually go to 52 mining rather than 50. Well, I'm already 70 here, but that's because the Legends quest later will require 52 mining, and you might as well just knock out that level now rather than having to come back and while you've got yourself a rune pickaxe. Secondly, so you have a bunch of runes in your inventory from Guardians of the Rift, and you will need to use them up. Originally, I just sold most of them to Ali Morrison, except for the Death runes and the Nature runes, but I actually think that it's a good idea to hold on to maybe the Blood runes as well. If you've got a Death Talisman and a Catalytic Talisman, you will have an inventory space used up for that, which you could use for a looting bag, and you could put your extra runes in the looting bag without costing the inventory slot because you're already using one for the looting bag. If you did not get the talisman, then clearing up all the runes will save you an inventory slot, so that's something to consider. But for each rune, you can hold on to the elemental runes. You know, they're useful for teleports, so that's not a big deal. The cosmic runes, I would just go ahead and sell them to Ali Morrison, or you can use them up the mage training arena in the cosmic room and the enchantment room. That's also perfectly fine. Probably better technically because, you know, it's good magic experience. The chaos runes, the blood runes, and the death runes. So we are going to be killing green or blue dragons in the upcoming section for prayer experience. You'll be training your prayer that way. And I originally just did the death runes. However, you could also train a little bit of magic, get yourself to 65. Water Wave will be able to kill more dragons. You will end up with past 43 prayer levels, but I actually recommend doing that. It's really nice to have some extra prayer levels, and it really isn't that bad. It's a pretty chill method to do. The Chaos runes, you could just sell them. They're not as effective to use at the dragons unless you get Chaos Gauntlets, and getting Chaos Gauntlets it's possible, but it's kind of out of the way. So I would say that if you got the looting bag, if you have the talisman, you could put them in your bag and use them later. But it's also simpler to just sell them and use death runes later. That's perfectly fine. The chaos runes aren't as big of a deal. The nature runes, there's two options for the nature runes. And the first one is to use them at the mage training arena. You can see over here, go to the mage training arena, do that high alchemy room. It's very good experience. It'll give you lots of magic levels, lots of experience. That's the recommended thing to do. but I'll be honest, I didn't feel like going back to Mage Training Arena. So the other option is to just alch your nature runes, which sounds kind of ridiculous, but they do alch for a decent amount of money, and you know they go by quickly. You're gonna get far less experience doing it that way, but it's not so bad. You could also alch your blood runes if you wanted to. The alching the blood runes is also, I think, a better option than selling them to Ali Morrison. But either way, I want you to use up all of those runes. Okay, so then the final thing is Priest in Peril. So you actually do want to hold on to those essence pouches for a little bit longer. I recommend you go ahead and complete the Priest in Peril quest right now, or at least after you clear up the inventory slots from your runes. That way, I think you should be able to make the quest in 2 runs rather than 3, which is what I had to do because I did it later. It's not a huge deal, but you might as well do it now to knock out Priest in Peril while you have those essence pouches. Okay, and from that, we will continue on, so keep those changes in mind. Okay, guys, I am back. I have now finished up 50 mining, and we are going to continue on. So what I've decided is that I'm going to try to get 43 prayer from blue dragons, and I'm just going to use up these death runes that I've got from Gardens of the Rift to do it. I feel like that's a pretty good way to use the death runes, and 43 prayer will be helpful. It allows getting ice gloves to be a lot easier, and we just need it on the account eventually. So we're going to go ahead and try that. And in order to do that, I want to get a rock cake, because we're going to be doing the Falador method where we use the Taverly dungeon and we go to Falador and we teleport up there. I'll show you guys how we do that in a little while. And it's really helpful to have a rock cake, and we want these quests done in the future anyway. So the first thing on the list is fishing contest. That's a requirement for the dwarf subquest of the Recipe for Disaster. I think all we need is a spade. I think they sell a spade here. Oh, maybe they don't. Lumbridge sells a spade. So we're going to knock this out real quick, and then I'm going to knock out the dwarf subquest of Recipe for Disaster, get myself a rock cake, and then I will set up for the method. Okay guys, that is fishing contest completed. That was quick and easy. So now we will knock out the dwarf subquest of RFD. I believe that I can buy all of the items I need at the Culinaromancer's chest, but we'll go ahead and see here. There we go. That was the Recipe for Disaster quest done. Quick and easy. We also got some Slayer experience, so that was nice. Okay guys, I'm here now, got myself a rock cake. I'm also going to go ahead and get rid of this armor. I'm going to alch this rune pickaxe, because we shouldn't need it anymore. Hopefully I don't regret that, but I can always get another one. And I'm going to come here and buy a staff of air. Actually, I'll buy a staff of water, because I think that's actually the less important staff. So I can now drop these water runes, so clear up an inventory spot, and then I will be able, oh, I guess I don't have access to that, but I can go ahead and store my coins here in a bit. I'll go and buy some extra casts. Oh, we have lots of casts, so no, actually it costs 3 air runes. So I'm gonna go buy a bunch of more air runes to match my death runes, because we're going to be using water blast to kill blue dragons in the Taverly dungeon, and using that at the wilderness altar for prayer experience. And this should be a pretty good way to get to level 43 prayer, much faster than the boneyard method or water striking. And because we have 70 agility, it is quite nice. It's one of those advantages of doing the 70 agility early, is that we have the ability to do the Taverly dungeon blue dragons much more effectively. So that's part of why I really like this route. You know, we really smooth things out on this. So I'll show you guys here in a second what we do. I'm buying my runes. I think that'll be plenty. And then I guess I'll just keep my coins on me. It's, well, technically not efficient to have the coins on me, but I'll probably drop them off my first trip to Clan Wars because I use my minigame teleport already, so it's not a big deal. So then we can go here, and I'm going to hold on to nature runes. You could use up the nature runes, but I'm not going to bother with it. How much is this worth? Yeah, like 30k worth of fire runes. I don't know if I really care about the fire runes that much. I guess I can put some runes in here. No, I can't. Whatever. I don't care about the fire runes that much, and I don't believe we'll need them. But we're gonna come. We need to go set our spawn point to Falador. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so we set our spawn point to Falador. I'm actually going to go ahead and get some food. Wonderful part of having teleports is we always have very easy access to a food source by teleporting to Ardone. Get ourselves some cakes so we can do this nice and easily. And this will be some just food in case we need it. You know, doesn't hurt to have. That's probably enough. I don't think I should need that much. And then now we are going to go back to Falador. And I'll show you what we're doing here. I'm gonna set this to defensive casting. We're gonna head over to the Taverly dungeon. And as I mentioned before, since we have 70 agility, we can use that agility shortcut to get to the blue dragons very easily, which is very convenient because it's a very long walk otherwise. But now it's pretty easy. And then we're going to fill ourselves up with an inventory of dragon bones. And once we're done, we'll teleport to Falador. We'll kill ourselves to one of the white knights. You'll use the rock cake to kill yourself all the way to low HP, then attack one of the white knights. They'll kill you. You death pile. You'll respawn here in Falador because we set our respawn point there. And then you'll be able to pick up your dragon bones and go to Clan Wars, to the Chaos Altar, use your bones there, then kill yourself to the wine spawn, and that will kill yourself and you respawn back in Falador to complete the cycle, and you pick up all your items. It's a pretty nice way to do early prayer. Now, when you're coming over here through this pipe obstacle, remember that you do not have any dragonfire protection, so you need to be careful doing this. You know, if you're running past these dragons, you can come up here. I think this should be a safe spot. You got to be careful about the dragons. They can easily one-shot you with the dragon fire. So anytime you get attacked by a blue dragon, that is a chance because the dragon fire will kill you. Once you get protection from magic, you can use that, but you won't have that for a little while. So we're going to fill up on dragon bones, and we'll see you in a bit. Okay, guys, I now have a full inventory of dragon bones, and I'm going to show you what we do here. Now that I'm done with that, I'm going to teleport to Falador. And, oh, my camera's all messed up. And we can start guzzling our health down low. There we go, all the way to 1 HP is good. And then I can attack one of these white knights. Let it kill me. I'm gonna lose my chronicle, but that's okay. Any day now. There it goes. Alright. And see, I respawn right back here because we changed our respawn point to Falador. And now it can pick up all the... I'll pick up the coins as well because I'm going to deposit those. Oh shoot, that's not what I wanted. Well, hold on, guys. I'm gonna do this again. So let's not pick up the death runes this time. And we'll pick up all of our dragon bones. And the coins, and then we'll minigame teleport to Clan Wars. and use our bones at the Chaos Altar, and then come back. Should be, I think, pretty self-explanatory, but I'll just show a quick clip of me doing it. Hopefully you don't die at the Chaos Altar. Luckily, because this method is much faster than the others, if you die at the Chaos Altar, you're not losing as much time as you would doing like the normal Blue Dragons with Water Strike. That's much slower. But in this case, it's not so bad. I mean, it sucks, but it's not the end of the world. I ended up keeping the Fire Runes because I don't think dropping them is going to ultimately save me a trip. So I'm just going to do this. But I will see you guys. Let me deposit my coins. Use this here, and then we'll go from there. Okay, guys. Well, that was a spicy one. Didn't get the log out quite in time. It's really hard to do a log out while you have to use the bones because every time you get a level up, you have to redo, like reuse the bones. So I didn't get it. But luckily, he came at the end of my inventory and didn't kill me right at the start. That would have sucked. But as you can see, you can die to PKers. That guy helped me get back to Falador, luckily, but I could have easily lost my whole inventory. Luckily, I did not. Now, all you have to do, come back, pick up all your stuff, wear it again, and then you are good to go. Just go back to get more dragon bones and repeat. If you die, as I said, it sucks, but it's not the end of the world. Just go back and get more. Hey guys, just jumping in here for a very quick clip. After you're done with the Falador prayer, go ahead and make sure to change your respawn location back to Lumbridge. You talk to this guy and switch your respawns, and I don't want to respawn in Falador because mine is currently in Prif, but you want to change yours back to Lumbridge real quick after you're done here. That is all. Okay, guys, I am back. We now have actually 47 prayer. I ended up just staying a little bit longer to use up all the death runes, or at least most of all the death runes, and went all the way past 43 to 47. I figured why not? I didn't want the death runes to go to waste, and this method is actually pretty relaxing, pretty chill. So, and prayer levels are always good to have. Nothing doesn't ever hurt to have more prayer levels. So I might as well knock that out. Okay, guys, I am back. I'm done with the nature runes. So we got 66 magic. That cut might have been a little bit harsh. I continued rambling about alchemy and nature runes for like a whole extra minute and a half. So I just cut the rest of that video because I didn't think it was necessary. So I did, in fact, just sit here and alch the nature runes. It's not the most efficient thing, but it was easy to do. I could just put on something on the side and knock it out brainlessly. Now I got 240k cash and 66 magic. If you guys went to the Mage Training Arena, you'll have a lot more magic experience. You won't have the cash, but it's not a big deal. Anyway, now we are going to move on, and I believe it is time to get those ice gloves. And this is part of why we got the 43 prayer now, to make this really easy to do. I guess we need to get a pickaxe, which will be really easy. I'm going to go ahead and stick with the water staff. And this is simply because I don't have any water runes on me. Honestly, guys, it doesn't really matter which staff you use. Because, I mean, the rune costs are really cheap. But I don't have any water runes on me. So I'm just going to keep the water staff so I have access to those runes and go with it. I also don't think we need the rock cake anymore. We do need a couple of these death runes, so it's good that I kept some. Should be plenty, I believe. I don't think it'll take that many. We're going to have a pickaxe. We'll need this to get to the Ice Queen's lair. This is part of why we got the 50 mining. And I don't think it really matters what pickaxe we have, so the bronze one will be fine. We're going to go over there, get ourselves some ice gloves. This will be helpful during the construction grind because we can pull from the blast furnace more easily. Technically not required, but it is a nice quality of life to have done. In the future, you could go back to do Giant's Foundry or whatnot, but I'll have to wait. I'm probably going to do Giant's Foundry to level 60 to 70, even though gold is probably more efficient. It's also very expensive, and I actually like Giant's Foundry a lot. It's pretty easy to do, pretty relaxing, and I'd rather that over gold, even if it takes longer. Also, it's, as I said, a lot cheaper. So we're going to come up here and get ourselves some gloves. Okay, guys, we got ourselves some ice gloves. That was nice and easy. Again, you don't really technically need protection prayers to do that, but it is so much easier, as you saw, just run in there and pray melee. Nice and simple. Okay, so next on the list is we're going to go ahead and get ourselves that log basket, which we should have everything we need already for. We're just going to go ahead and cash it in. I'm also going to restore my prayer all the way to full while I'm here real quick, in case I need it for something. And I'm also going to pick up my banana hat because that's a very important piece of our gear setup. You must have the banana hat fashionscape. It's just a requirement, you know. Everybody knows increases your stats. So we're going to go ahead and grab that. I might grab the Chronicle as well just because, why not? Okay, guys, so we picked that up. I went ahead and destroyed the forestry kit. That does cost you all of the anima-infused bark and the leaves, if you care about the leaves, that were left in the forestry kit. So if you care about those things, you probably should not destroy the forestry kit, and you can hold on to it until you are able to build the stuff in your house to store it. I don't really care about it. I'm not planning to make any of the rations, so it's not important to me to have the leaves or anything. Now, if you are planning to do 1.5 tick teaks or something, then the rations are very helpful. They're important for that method, so you might consider doing that. However, I'm not super worried about it. Maybe I regret that decision, but hopefully I don't. But I don't want to use the inventory slot. Now we're going. I also picked up a scarf because why not? It looks cool. And then now we're going to go and get ourselves a rune axe. This will be from the woodcutting guild. Since we have level 60 woodcutting, we should be able to get into the woodcutting guild. And I believe since they updated it, I don't even need the Hosidius favor. I'll find that out shortly, but I don't think I need it. I can also get rid of these death runes. We shouldn't need them anymore because we're setting up for construction, and it's going to be knocking out things one at a time. I think Land's End is the way to go here. You actually can go here rather than Port Piscarilius, and just walk over to the woodcutting guild is right over here, and this axe shop has a rune axe for purchase. Okay, guys, here real quick, you can see this guy sells a rune axe. Nice and easy, very nice to get, and that is why we knocked out level 60 woodcutting before, so that we could easily get this without any hassle. And we are moving right along. I need to get the rest of my cash stack out. I ended up forgetting to actually grab the Chronicle, but it's not a big deal. I'm going to walk from Varrock all the way to the Ferox Enclave rather than taking the minigame teleport, because I will want the minigame teleport to get to Blast Furnace here in just a minute. So I don't want to waste my minigame teleport getting the Clan Wars and then not have it for Blast Furnace. Okay, here we're gonna grab the whole cash stack. See what I got left. We're doing well on money. Actually, hardly spending any money on total because we started with about 6.6 mil, I think, after We ran finished wielding agility. We're already up to almost to 6 mil again from all the activities we've done, so we're doing fine. We'll spend a decent amount of this on construction, of course, but we won't even make a huge dent in it. We're totally rich right now. All right, so last thing we need to do is get ourselves our hammer and saw and move our house to Hosidius. So we're gonna grab that, grab a hammer, and oh, I forgot to do the blast furnace. We have to go do that real quick, so I'll do that. I'll grab that after I get the saw. It's not really the most efficient way to do it, but whatever. We're gonna go move our house to Hosidius, and I think I'm gonna try 2, maybe 3 steel bars at a time. I don't know exactly what the best number of steel bars to get per trip is, but I'll play around with it. It's whatever you want to do. Come to this guy and do relocate. Going to go to Hosidius because we're doing mahogany homes and we want our house in Hosidius for that. And I might as well grab a contract while I'm here. And we're going to be doing level 20 contracts until you reach level 50. So this will be nice and easy. And I'll show you what we do for the method here in a second. But it's pretty straightforward, pretty self-explanatory. But we're going to go ahead and grab some steel bars. Alright, talk to the mine foreman. Tell him you have level 60 smithing. Alright, should be good to go. And then I'm going to go to a blast furnace world. Okay, and then you can actually just buy a full inventory here. Oh, I should probably do coal first. Because if you do iron first, you're going to get iron bars. Oh, I have to pay for it, yeah. Do 150. Should be fine. And then we'll come here. Yes, and don't ask again. There you go. Put on your coal. Actually, it's only 1 coal, so we only need 1 of those. That's not a problem. Then we can put a bunch of steel bars in the hopper. Put them here. And then now in order to remove them, you don't want to grab the whole batch right away. So what you can do is just buy an inventory of copper ore. And then now if you use logs or something, you have one full inventory of logs or planks, you can also do that. And then you can grab them. I'm going to grab 3 steel bars to start out with. And that way you can only get 3 steel bars and the rest are still there in the dispenser. You can just drop all this. I mean, copper ore is cheap, not a big deal. Like I said, you could also unequip your gear for slots if you want to, cheap out and save your money on the copper ore. Also an option. So we now have our steel bars, and we are ready to start. We teleport to the Earth altar, and we come up here to the sawmill. And since we're doing teak contracts, teaks. We're doing oak logs. You're just gonna chop a bunch of oak logs, and then buy planks here at the operator. Then do your mahogany home contract and rinse and repeat. And I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to explain how to do mahogany homes. You can watch a guide on that, read the wiki page or whatnot. This isn't the mahogany homes guide, but you should be all ready to go. You get to Hosidius with your house teleport, Varrock with the Varrock teleport, Falador with the Falador teleport, and Ardone with the Ardone teleport. Pretty straightforward. You don't really need the log basket right now because you're getting your logs right here, but in the future it will be helpful for teaks because then you can the teaks are much farther away. These are right next to the sawmill, but the teaks are farther away, so it's very helpful for that. But anyway, I'm going to buy these, and we will stop there. And I'll see you back at 50 construction, and we're gonna make some changes at that point because we'll renovate our house, be able to get the costume room and all that good stuff, and we might pull Winter Todd at that point, possibly get a Tome of Fire to save an inventory slot. But for me, it would net equal because I would need a looting bag. But if you already have a looting bag, then getting a Tome of Fire would save an inventory slot. But I don't want to pull now because you don't have a costume room, so all those pieces that you might get from the Pyromancer outfit could get a bit awkward. Stuff like that. If you get like the gloves, it would conflict with your ice gloves. So it's easier to just wait a little bit longer and pull once you have the construction level in your house. And it's not too long to get. Alright, that's what I got. Hey guys, just jumping in for a little bit of a quick clip, and in the next sections you're going to be doing a decent amount of questing, and I just wanted to remind you that you can create rings of dueling here in Alcarid or any other gym stop. There's a couple other ones. There's one in Ardone, there's one in Varlamore that are close to teleports, and make yourself some rings of dueling to run energy restoration if you would like during these next few quests. Eventually you'll be getting the jewelry box in your house, so you won't need to make them anymore, but for now, that's just an option, but you don't have to do it. Alright, back to it. Welcome back, guys. I have now finished up the construction grind. I ended up getting to 52 construction just because I went a little bit extra. Didn't have time to record at the moment that I was doing it, so I went a little bit farther, but you should have 50 construction, no big deal. So now we are going to renovate our home. First, though, we're going to knock out a quick quest, the Eyes of Glorfy, just because we want the Crystal Saw, especially if you guys don't have those extra levels that I got. You'll need it to boost for the couple things we're getting. You could also just, train a bit more construction, but that's not what we're doing around here because that's not necessarily the way to go. Okay, so I'm going to just knock out this quest. The only thing that you really need to be aware of as far as guide goes is that you can get the Mud Rune for the quest by going to the Mage Training Arena. This is why we wanted to get some extra... I can't get through here now. No, I can't go through there. You wanted to get some extra points earlier so that you can buy this Mud Rune for this quest. And if you didn't, then you can figure it out. But you should have the points from before. We haven't actually purchased Bones to Peaches yet, so you should be good to go. But this will give you the Crystal Saw, which allows you to build items higher level than you would normally be able to. It gives an invisible kind of +3 boost, which can also be used with the tea in your house. You can make some tea in your house that also gives you a construction boost. And I think there's like one item that we need to do that. I'll be using my guide that I created for the original Ultimate Ironman guide, and I have a whole list of renovations to make, and I might add a couple extra from there. But we're going to go ahead and knock out Eyes of Glorfy, and I'll see you back then for renovations. Okay guys, so I forgot we haven't actually completed the Grand Tree in this route, so we're going to add the Grand Tree along with this, so that'll be no problem. But yeah, we have to do the Grand Tree. Okay, with that out of the way, we can now actually complete Eyes of Glorfy. I just forgot we had to do that because we hadn't done it earlier, because it would have gained combat levels if we did it in the early questing section. Anyway, that's all we need. We'll go ahead and continue on the quest we're actually trying to do. No levels off that. Okay guys, we are now going to use this crystal saw seed to create a crystal saw, and then going to renovate our house with a bunch of changes. I'll probably just speed through everything because you don't need to have a detailed explanation of everything, but it's going to be a lot of house construction, building everything you need. Okay guys, there we go. That's biohazard completed. And that's just so that we can make the West Ardone teleport in our house, which is just a useful teleport to have. And also, we need Biohazard to be completed eventually anyway, so, you know, no harm in doing it now. Okay, guys, there is Priest and Peril completed after way too long. Definitely not a very efficient Priest and Peril completion. I had to go back 2 more times than I probably needed to. I'm probably going to move this quest earlier, because if you had the essence pouches, you could have just used the darn essence pouches, and I didn't think of that when I actually had the pouches. So, yeah. Okay, guys, that is Twilight's Promise completed. Go ahead and restore a prayer while we're done. I didn't end up needing these cakes. That's okay. Okay, so now I think we can get rid of the death runes. I think we can get rid of the sword. I think we'll need a hammer. I think that it's time finally to renovate the house. Hopefully I didn't overlook anything. I ended up getting way too many rings of dueling, but I guess I'll try and hold on to them and see how big of a hassle it is. But yeah, I mean, I should have gotten them earlier. I should have gotten them right when we started questing, but I waited too long. Anyway, now I'm not gonna do Watchtower. As I said, I'm not gonna bother with it. You could do Watchtower if you want. I'm not gonna bother with it, but you can. Now let's go ahead and renovate. So, going to teleport to the house, and we're gonna set things up, and we're gonna go here, and we're gonna do a bunch of things. I'm gonna start with the house viewer. Alright, we're gonna delete the parlor because I don't need a parlor. And then I'm gonna rotate this. You guys can set up your house however you want. I'm just gonna show you how I like to set up my house, if I can remember everything. I wanna make sure this is the way where I come in on top, okay? I like that setup, and then I need to switch to build mode. And I need... Now this is one of the advantages of us having a lot of money, is that we can kind of go a little bit crazy on these portal rooms. We don't need to be stingy on them, and I'm going to get all of the portal rooms I want. And something that's notable is that we're going to create portals for the normal spellbook teleports, and this might at first seem kind of, you know, pointless. You know, why do you need the teleports if you're on the normal spellbook most of the time? But the thing is that you're on the normal spellbook most of the time, but you're not on the normal spellbook all of the time. And let me tell you, whenever you find yourself on the Arceus book, or especially on Ancients or Lunars or something, and you don't have these teleports in your house already, it's kind of a pain in the butt, because you wish you could just teleport to your house somehow and use them. So it's very nice to have it, you know, house tabs or whatever else you want to get there. Just have these done. Now I like to do this little thing here where we add the chapel up here at the top. So I've got my 4 portal rooms here, and then the chapel has 1 exit, so I go ahead and add it here, and then I do this one to add those. So I'm getting 5 portal rooms. I don't know if we'll use up every single one of these portals, but this is the normal setup I do. And then I like my costume room over here. There we go, there's the costume room. Like that. And then this one I think needs to be, whichever one has the mounted glory. This goes in the quest hall. Okay. In the guild trophy of the quest hall of the player-owned house. So that's... I guess this one? Quest trophies? Hopefully that's the right one. Now, once you get later on, yeah, there's the guild trophy space. Yeah, so I like to put it right there. As you get later on in your account, you can redo this. So like this one is going to be, I don't think I can make it yet, would be the Superior Garden. Yeah, like, yeah, I can't do superior garden yet, but that's where I put my superior garden right here. So I have my portal and my house, and then what else do I need? I have portal chambers, costume room, chapel. Oh, we need a workshop. Okay. Oh, and a kitchen. This is why it's useful to have a list. So I put my workshop over here. Oh wait, no. The workshop goes... Hold on. The workshop goes down here. We don't use it very often. That's where I think I usually put the study for when I'm making tabs. And then menagerie, I think, can go here because that one doesn't. That one has 4 entrances. There we go. See if that makes sense to me. There's our workshop, and then the kitchen. Kitchen is very rarely used, so I put it over here in the corner. Okay, so we have portal chamber, costume room, chapel, a workshop, a menagerie, and a kitchen. And then what are we missing? I don't need a dining room. I mean, you technically need a dining room eventually, but that's if you're doing, well, if you're doing other form of construction training, but we're not doing that. You need a bedroom if you got servants, but we can't use servants in the Ultimate Ironman. Games room doesn't matter. Measure we have. I'll go ahead and build the study, because this is where I usually put my study. And I think that's it for now. Okay, so we now have the skeleton of my house, and we're just gonna start building things. Now we can go ahead, and because we have the Ring of Elements, it's really nice to just go over there and get everything. So we're just gonna knock it out bit by bit. Okay, guys. So really quickly here, we're going to buy some soul runes, and this is for some of the teleports you need. I also need some mind runes, so I might as well just grab them. I don't even think I need that many. I'm also going to grab some extra water runes because I might need some more. I'm not sure exactly how many I need, but I'm gonna say 2,000 law runes is hopefully enough. I didn't check exactly how many you need. But if I need more, I'll just come back and grab some. I emptied out my Ring of Elements, as you saw, because all these runes have to be actually in your inventory. They can't be in your rune pouch. That's another thing that might get you. If you have the runes in the rune pouch, then it won't work. So you need to have them outside of the rune pouch. But I'm going to buy 500 soul runes, as I said, and hopefully that's enough. I think that's how many to calculate I'll need. But, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take a quick cut here and do all the portal organization myself so I can have time to think about it and really deliberate how I want to organize it, and then I'll just show you guys what I come up with after I am done organizing everything. Okay, guys, I am back. I am now done with all the portal renovations. I got to think on how I wanted to do it, and this is what I came up with. I did have to go teleport to the core end real quick and speak to the person by the Dark Altar in order to make the Arceus portals, so you can knock that out real quick. It wasn't too bad. I also did miss one of the portals, so I had to go chop a couple more teak logs, but that wasn't too big of a deal. Okay, so I ended up going with the Arceus portals on the right and most of the normal spellbook stuff here on the left. Notably, the Salve Graveyard teleport is right here. This is our access to Fairy Ring, so I want it front and center because we're probably going to be using it a lot. Probably the single most portal we'll use in this upcoming sections will be here to get to a Fairy Ring. I put Frankenstein's Castle right here because I felt that would be useful. And then the Battlefront teleport right here. It's actually the same distance to get from here to this one as this one, and it's 4 ticks to do it. And the Battlefront teleport will be useful later to get to the Farming Guild. It's also close to a Fairy Ring, but it's mostly important to get to the Farming Guild. I went ahead and put these these three over here. Notably, these are the 3 required for Mahogany Homes, and I figured that I might be doing Mahogany Homes with just the teleport to house runes, because then if I can drop the 2 other runes, I can save inventory slots, so I can just teleport to our house and take these portals and save the rune slots. Notably, also just for general questing, you don't necessarily need the water runes anymore. I mean, you technically don't even need the fire runes for the same reason, because you have all your normal spellbooks in your house. You can just do the normal spellbook stuff. In the past, you needed fire runes for all your magics, but now that the wind spells are just as good as the fire spells, it might be worth dropping those. Anyway, we added Arceus Library up here. It's just a useful teleport to have. Draenor Manor is good for some quests. West Ardougne will be useful as well. And then Camelot, Corrend, and Lumbridge are all nice to have. Up here we have the Varlamore teleport, and then Mind Altar teleport. This one might not sound useful, but it allows you to use your looting bag. And since you don't have a quick access to the Ferox Enclave without a jewelry box, it can be really nice to just have a way to get to a looting bag spot. But it's way up here in the corner because you're not going to use it very often. And this last one would be the Watchtower teleport. If I had done the Watchtower, this is where you could put your Watchtower teleport. Of course, this is just how I laid out the portals. You can do it however you'd like, but this is the portals that we have at the moment. Later on, when you get lunars and get ancient magics, then that adds a whole extra layer of everything. You know, maybe you can try and get the portal nexus, but you might, expand out and redo everything. But this is what I got for now. Alrighty, guys. With that, I'm going to go ahead and call it an episode. We have a lot more to cover, but next time we'll pick it up right where we left off, getting fairy rings and more construction and questing, and more setting up of your account. But good luck, and I will see you next time.